thank you for that nice warm welcome. I feel like a rock star coming out.
Yeah, you are a rock star.
Ah, no, I'm not a rock star. Good morning, everybody. How are you all doing? Fantastic. Well, why are you here? What's going on? Is this Love and Marriage game show? Am we in the hot seat? Fantastic. Well, welcome to Liars Club, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, because we can make up the answers anyway, and you wouldn't know the difference, would you? It's supposed to be very informal and fun. Yes, we're going to have some good fun tonight. Excuse my voice, I have a little bit of a sore throat there. Are we ready to bluff about the hotel directory front?
I will Google anything.
You will Google any question that comes up. Yes, so obviously, when it comes to the hotel operation, Arifan is in charge of all the 2,000 crew members working for the hotel operation, food, beverage, all that nice jazz. Risto, how many horsepowers do you have on there?
Ready for 100 and, well, plenty.
Plenty. That's it. You know, the chief engineer, he knows a little bit about everything, while the captain knows everything about nothing. So obviously I will be delegating today. Mark, cruise division. Entertainment and activities. Quite a task, isn't it? Can you imagine? How many activities do you have on a cruise ship on a daily basis?
On average, on a port day, between 70, 75, on a sea day, between 85 and 90.
Oh, have you guys participated in all of them? Yeah, you have. No, you will need a vacation after the vacation, that's for sure. Well, it's going to be good fun, and it's you know that his division is so large, 220 people. Is that
yeah, and this week we have 2 ice cars. So
yes,
doing a handover, so we got 245 this week.
240. That's more than it is in the marine operation that drives the ship when it comes to the technical part of it, navigation engineers and all that. So it's a huge and very, very important division for you. Should we fire it off?
Yeah, let's do it. So, ladies and gentlemen, girls and boys, we have Dieter and Jeff from the cruise director's staff. They'll be running around with a microphone. All I ask you to do is raise your hand. We'll get to you as soon as we can. The staff will keep hold of the microphone, and they ask your question. We'll do our best to answer it, and then we'll go to the next person. So we'll probably go port side, starboard side. We'll reverse. Yeah. We'll go side to side so everybody gets a shot. So we're going to start over here. Morning. Just introduce yourself. Tell us where you're from.
My name's Greg, and I'm from Chicago, long way from the ocean. But my question is, with the seas we've had this week, what were the largest waves we've been going through?
You know, up on the navigation bridge, we have a radar that determines the height of the. It's just measure the height of them. Right now, we have actually 9 meters. I think they said. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just winding you guys up. They remember it's Liars Club. The average now is 3.5 meters, which is like 10 feet. That's the average, but we had up to 5 meters today. There is a low pressure way out there in the Atlantic Ocean. You know, you might not even know, but there's another hurricane out there called Melissa. Yes, she's not going to interfere with us. She's on very far out in the a beam of New York about, but she's heading east to Europe. So I don't know, from England there? No, just kidding. So those hurricanes create a lot of waves, and the longer they are, the longer the waves are, the shorter, you know. So that's what we are feeling now. It's hundreds and hundreds of miles away. So to ease things down and make life easier for our cruise division, including the cruise director, that has to postpone all the shows because of the rocking of the boat, or ship as I like to call it, we are going to go in between the Bahamian Islands this afternoon, south of Great Abaco Island. You're not familiar with this area, but you heard about Great Abaco, Great Bahamas, because those were the 2 islands that were completely demolished by a hurricane a few weeks ago. So we're going to go south of them and be in lee of this. Because the shortest and fastest route we go north of them, which we had to do when we came down the other day, on Monday. But now we're going to go in between. So I can promise you after 3 o'clock in the afternoon, you'll be steady as a rock in between the islands. So the cruise director can.
We're going to do every show at 3 o'clock. Every show.
You're going to be so exhausted by tomorrow because you have 4 shows to catch up with. So Greece is coming up tonight as we speak about it.
Yeah, we got 2 Greece performances. We got 2 ice skating shows, and we've got Aqua Fine Line at 7:30.
Yeah, recharge your batteries, folks. We got a lot of entertainment coming up. Yeah, so the waves are measured by a radar in the front, and the highest waves they had this week is somewhere between 5 and 6 meters, 15, 18 feet. Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, on this side, going halfway back. Hello.
Hi, I'm Teresa from Ormond Beach, Florida. At each port, you tell everybody when they have to be back on the ship. So what is the longest that you've waited for the last passenger? And have you ever left a passenger?
I never ever left anyone behind. They left me. There's a slight difference in that one, all right? So here is how it goes. We have to sail on time, and I've never ever seen an airplane take off and turn around and come back again to pick up someone that didn't make it to the gate on time. We kind of live with the same philosophy because it's very expensive for some. And you let the ship like this go, there could be other ships in the port and we are all scheduled to leave on a certain time, and it has with the fuel consumption, because if I need to go back and put this whole monster of a ship back to dock and rig the gangway, there's a lot of money involved in that. So no, I don't wait for you. However, if you are on an excursion that is booked via us, via Royal Caribbean, we guarantee you that we will wait for you. Because that's the guarantee, and that's the benefit of booking when you're on an excursion. Booking with Royal Caribbean, because we know where you are, and we know that the bus could have broken down or some delay for some reason, because we know exactly when you will be coming back. So we will wait for you, no matter what the cost is. But if you are dying to buy that T-shirt or the diamond ring or fall asleep on the beach, I have no idea where you're doing or what you're up to, so I can't sit there and wait for a minute even. That's how it goes.
Okay, back up the pole side. Hello, sir.
I'm Tzvika from Israel. Good morning. Do you have any control of stability of the ship?
No, that's not me. That's the hotel director.
I do.
Well, we have stabilizers, Chief, don't we?
Yeah, we do have a pair of stabilizers. So these are like airplane wings, which we extend and depending on the weather, of course. Right now we have them extended, and they reduce the rolling of the ship. They cannot eliminate it, but they would reduce the rolling of the ship by tilting them and increasing or decreasing the lifting force. That's how it works, simply.
And if we didn't have them, you wouldn't even be here, because the ship would have a bad reputation of being rolling all the time. So no, we use them, and we always set them on when we have the aqua show, for example. You know, we rig them for your comfort if the ship rolls more than a half degree to each side. That's when we take care of your comfort. But for the aqua show, it's 0.2 degrees. That is not much, it's almost not measurable. But with a swimming pool that goes this way on the ship, it is, because the guy crazy guy, as I call him, jumping from 17 meters, and he has 5 meters of water to land in, and so he doesn't get stuck in the bottom. So he has to have those 5 meters for his safety. So we will always ring them up for their safety. Yeah. And then obviously the ice shows. Some guys is hanging underneath here, and so it's all for the safety of the entertainers. Yeah.
Okay, Dieter. Hello.
Hi, Doreen from Live Oak, Florida. When you go into the ports, you have a pilot that comes on board and you say drives the ship. Is that accurate? He really drives the ship, or does he just kind of ride with you? And if he does drive it, how does he know how to drive all these different ships? Don't they all have different controls and stuff to...
That's an interesting way of looking at things. The pilot knows the area, he knows the traffic, he can speak the language, which can come in handy when you're from Norway, and my Mexican is relatively limited. So it's mandatory to have a pilot. So he's kind of a local taxi driver. He stays in touch with the local authorities if needed. He's a longshoreman that takes the ropes. And he guides us through the narrows if need be. But we've been in this port for so many years. So what physically and what happens most of the time is that the pilot come on board, we have a master pilot exchange. We are telling how fast we're going, how many engines we are online, what our plan is, and he tells us the current is so and so, and the wind is this and that, and blah, blah, blah. Fine, and then he sits down in his chair over there, and we serve him coffee and a donut, and when we are docked, I sign the bill. That's usually what happens. But in some ports, like in San Juan, Puerto Rico, and tomorrow when we get back home again, the pilot takes the con. So he tells the helmsman that physically steer the ship, okay, come 270, 271, port 5, all that stuff. But he never have any command of the ship. That still stays with us, except 2 places in the world, and that's the Suez Canal and the Panama Canal. Then the pilot is fully responsible for his actions. But here, he's just like a local guy that gives us guidance. So But a good cooperation between us makes this transit safe. Yeah.
Yes, over this side again. It's right over my head, not yours, Captain.
All right, we have a junior cruiser here.
Hi, my name is Ryland, and I'm from Scottsdale, Arizona. What would be the procedure if we got stuck in a hurricane?
That's a great question. Next. Okay. First of all, we haven't done our diligence, first of all, if we end up being stuck in a hurricane, because we don't want to be in a hurricane. So we get information about development of tropical storms, tropical depressions, fronts, and how they develop way before you even hear about them. So our procedure is not to get stuck in a hurricane. That's to change the itinerary if the hurricane is scheduled or forecasted to be in the vicinity where we are scheduled to be. We will just go to a different part of the Caribbean. So and that has happened a lot this year. A lot. I've been aboard for 8 weeks, and the Harmony's itinerary is 2 weeks on the Eastern Caribbean and 1 week on the Western Caribbean. This was my second time in 8 weeks that I've been to the Eastern Caribbean, because we've been stuck on the Western the whole August or September especially. You know, September is the hurricane month, so yeah, we stay far away from hurricanes.
Okay. Morning, sir.
Morning, Derek from Australia. Observation firstly, the design of the ship seems to be very well thought out around the shows. So the question is, I guess the fine line show with Aquadeck, you know, the design of that area and the superstructure at the back of the boat, ship, was that all designed with the show in mind, or did the show come after the design and the building of the ship?
No afterthoughts here. That whole area was designed to be like that. So the Oasis class has the aqua show or that amphitheater in the stern of the ship from day one. So that's not an afterthought. Yeah.
And then for all of our ships, you never put a theatre venue next to another theatre venue, otherwise you might have too many people at one side of the ship. So it's all about traffic flow and crowd control. So we have here, ice rink in the middle, aqua at the end. So we're all strategically placed. Good question. Yes, hello, sir.
I'm Andrew from New York City. I was just wondering if with the cruise line plans to build like a bigger ship, or if this is like as big as it gets.
Why do you have in mind, sir?
Well, this one's a little cramped.
Isn't it big? Isn't it big enough for you? Well, all I can say on that is stay tuned to royalcaribbean.com and they will let you know. You know, we just released this week that our 5th of this class is almost finished. It's going to be delivered next year, going to China. Because we are really, really pushing for that market over there. It's a great market for us. It's been very, very good for 10 years we've been over there. And the name is going to be Wonder of the Seas. And she will be customized to go to the Far East, to the China market. What's coming after then, I'm not allowed to tell you. But don't be surprised if you find something bigger coming up in the next years. So you don't get grabbed in the field.
Hello.
My name is Pat. I live on Merritt Island, Florida. I wanted to ask the engineer about the water filtration system, and the second part of my question is, do we take on additional water when we come into our home port?
No, we do. All the water we use on board, potable water, we produce on board. So we do have 3 evaporators, steam evaporators, 3 reverse osmosis plants. So we can produce, when we are out at sea, then we are running these units and producing the water. We consume so much water, about 11,000 tons, so that's about 3 million gallons of water a week. And there is no port which we can supply as much as we need. So whatever, especially in the Caribbean, but even if in a Port Canaveral, what we can get is like maybe our half-day consumption, not more than that. So we are relying completely on the freshwater production. So we do all of it on board, and then just depending we use there's a lot of energy saving initiatives there, so we use the waste heats and all that to run our freshwater production plants and produce the water. And it's a good water to absolutely meeting all the requirements by the United States Public Health and any other requirement when it comes. So good water, no issues there.
So how much water did you say we drink? 3 million gallons?
Well,
Well, you guys knows that we have 35 bars on board? Well, what the heck do we do? We don't. I have even seen guests bringing water with them on board when they come. They have a whole bucket of water. What?
And all the water what is produced actually becomes gray water. So then we need to treat that. So that's like a circle, you know. You produce it, you use it, and then you treat it, and then properly treat it, you know, in our treatment plant, and then we will be allowed to discharge that back to the sea once we are in a sea condition, which is 12 miles from the nautical.
And recycling of water is actually quite interesting because you know that first the hot water and what we call the grey water showers and things, that goes up to deck number 17 where the most expensive cabins are, and then it drops down to number 16 and then... Anyone on deck number 3 here? We can smell you. No, just kidding. It's all good, it's all good. Is that the way we do? No, we're not. But we do tap it in bottles, don't we? Yeah, and then we sell it called true water.
Okay, Jeff, for the back. Hello, sir.
Hi, this is Chris. I'm from Orlando. Maybe this is a question best for the hotel director. With the thousands of crew members that work on the ship and they're working tirelessly to keep the staterooms looking beautiful and the hallway and public areas absolutely amazing and the delicious food, how do you keep morale up for the crew because they work such long hours? And we feel like we work long hours, that's why we come on vacation, but they're working day and night without a break. How do you keep the morale up?
We pay them well. Or you do.
Well, thank you for the comment. Yeah, it's a great question, and it's one thing. This our company, the same way how we look after our guests, we have dedicated team and so many things for our crew members as well. And that's only to make sure they are fully motivated to deliver the best vacation experience to our guests. And as the captain said, yeah, definitely there's lots of benefits, lots of team buildings, there's lots of motivation going on for the crew, and we have really world-class crew accommodation on board the ships, which you don't see. So yeah, it's thank you. You know, we do our very best to make sure they are motivated, because we know when they are happy, you will be even happier. Thank you.
Okay, front row. Hello.
My name is Patty, and I'm from Georgia. And my question is, what is the most which port is the most expensive one to dock at?
I really don't know, maybe on home port, because that's where we go off and buy all the food. No, there is a tax, a head tax, that we pay for you guys. Well, you pay because you bought the ticket, but we have to pay per head on board the ship, and I can't on top of my head remember what the fees are on the different ports, because I know Bermuda was extremely expensive a few years ago. Like, if I say $60 per head, and this is 20 years ago. So I'm not quite sure, but our old islands are the cheapest one, because we own the place. But I don't know what it is in St. Thomas, St. Martin, and so on and so forth, because you pay for not only them, but you pay for the pilots, which you talked about, the longshoremen, security service, and all that nice jazz. So, yeah, I can't tell which one is the most expensive.
Okay, back to the back.
You had to Google it.
Hello, my dear. What's your question?
Hi there. I'm Barbara from Hilton Head, South Carolina, and I just wanted to relate an experience back to the pilot. I was on a Princess ship in 1995, and we had the pilot on board, and we were coming into the channel into Juneau, Alaska. It was at like 1 in the morning. The ship went on the rocks, and it tore open a good part of the ship, and they had to disembark all the passengers that day from Juneau to go back home. And I understand the ship went into either, I don't know, wet dock or dry dock for some weeks anyway. And the pilot was on board.
I'm glad it's not a question.
No, it's not a question. I just wanted to relate that experience and with a pilot on board. That's all.
Car crashes too. So yeah, I know it does happen. Things can happen, and I obviously I can't comment on it what happened because I don't know the case, but that can happen. Human errors. But this was in 1995, before GPS.
And on a princess ship. Yes.
I wasn't going to comment on that. You know, I kept my mouth shut. That's it.
Next question, we over there. Oh, there, midway back. Hello, sir.
Yes, my name's Tom from Windsor, Florida. A few years back, off the east coast of Florida, there was an incident involving one of the largest cruise ships. It was cruising along, made an abrupt turn, made the news. Some damage was on board happened. Can you comment on it? Do you remember the ship? Do you remember the incident at all?
Nope.
I thought it was on a maiden ship of one of the largest cruise ships out of Port Canaveral.
Okay.
That doesn't help either.
Nope. I don't even know the cruise line you're referring to.
I think it was Royal Caribbean, but I can't hold to that. The Symphony.
Nope, Symphony is brand new and she would never be there at that time. You said it was a few years ago. So,
They operated out of Port Canaveral for a while.
okay. I really don't know the cases. You know, we have there's several hundred ships out around and about, so things happen on a daily basis. So, thank you for sharing your story, but I have no way of helping you on locating the ship or what happened there.
Okay, do we have any questions that don't involve crashes and groundings?
Right here in the back. I'm here in the top.